information all over the world. This is why you see the swastika everywhere. This is why you see this anomalous blue-eyed, white-skinned people within every single culture. Yeah. Nearly every culture around the planet, despite their origins, seem to have a certain sect of people within them that have light-skinned, fair hair, blue eyes, etc., etc. More than likely coming from the Aryans after the fall of Atlantis. Number 62, underground tunnels and bases. There are hundreds of deep underground military bases all over the planet. This is what people don't understand about organizations like the National Security Agency. They don't just operate in the United States, they operate all over the planet. They have deep underground military bases everywhere. They work very closely with MI5 and MI6 in Europe. In many respects, you could argue that they're the same organization. Yeah, so Phil Schneider, before they killed him, gave a number of talks about this and his involvement in building these deep underground military bases. And I highly recommend his information. I find it highly credible, and I encourage you to look into it. Number 61, Hollywood's influence. Yeah. So, as Jordan Maxwell often likes to explain, the ancient Druids, whenever they made a magic wand, they would always use the wood of a holly tree. So they would use Hollywood to cast their spells. This is why we have Hollywood today. Hollywood is an ancient Druidic system. And they're still casting their magic today. And, manipulating the public through the silver screen. Yeah, more can be said about that, but moving on. Number 60, Harp. And weather manipulation. Yeah, okay. So there are a number of what are referred to as high-frequency active aural research programs located all over the planet. The first one, I believe, is in Alaska, but many more have developed since then. And these facilities have, capabilities of, affecting huge amounts of electromagnetic frequencies into the atmosphere. They can cause earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, Unfortunately, we are now at a time where we have to ask ourselves if natural disasters are actually natural. As odd as that sounds. But, what a genius weapon. Because if you attack another country by causing a quote-unquote natural disaster, nobody's going to suspect that it's an actual attack. This calls into question a lot of things, like the Japan earthquake, the Haiti earthquake, Katrina, who knows how many of these natural disasters were actually natural. We can do this. We have this technology now. Number 59, Jesus never existed. Okay, maybe. So most people are aware that in the Bible, the person being depicted in the Bible is the same solar hero that's been depicted throughout times, from ancient Egypt, starting with Horus, Krishna, Mithra, Zoroaster, Attis. There's like 16 or some solar deities throughout time that have been unworshipped that all have the same story about, being born on December 25th, being born of a virgin, having 12 disciples. It's the story of the Son, God's Son, the light of the world, our risen Savior. Yeah, so despite that, I do believe that there was an individual around that time period who affected great change by revealing certain esoteric information that caused instability within the power structure at the time, which was Rome, and I think he was a huge contributor to the actual collapse of Rome and the political unrest that followed. Christianity was originally referred to as the free and open secret society because they were essentially giving up all the information that has been kept secret for so long. So I think they just simply took that individual and the, religious movement that he had started. I wouldn't, maybe not religious movement, but the shift in consciousness that he had started, the revolution that he started, the revolution of consciousness that he instigated, and his close cohorts, and then converted it into the same story that's been told over and over again, and applied the whole solar deity and overlapped it onto his story and obscured the facts of what he really did and what he was really doing and trying to do, which was give the secrets away and teach people to care about each other, which is exactly what's happening now, and is the only thing that's going to stop what's happening now, is if people care about each other and reveal these secrets. Number 58, the Vatican is satanic. Well, you betcha. Yeah, so the Vatican has been involved with dark occultism for a long time. This isn't difficult to imagine. If you were a evil satanic organization, you're not going to affect a whole lot of people by forthrightly coming out and claiming that you're satanic and evil, because that's going to put people on guard. But if you come across as the most pious organization on the planet, the most holy organization on the planet, the vicar of Christ himself, you might be able to fool a few people. So, common sense, yeah, they're evil. It's you look at their actions, not their words. Simple. Number 57, Atlantis. Yeah, of course there was an advanced civilization that existed on the planet in the past. There's just too much evidence everywhere for it. All over the place. Mohenjo-Daro, Baalbek, the Great Pyramid itself. It's an impossible structure. It shouldn't be there. There's all kinds of evidence to suggest there was a advanced civilization that existed in the past. Call it Atlantis, whatever you want. Number 56, Jesus is married to Mary Magdalene. Right, so as I said, whoever this individual was, I don't know what his name was, it probably wasn't Jesus, but anyway. Whoever he was, I'm sure he probably was married to Mary Magdalene, or whatever her name was at the time. I'm sure he had a wife. He was just a normal person like everybody else, but happened to know all of these secrets that the secret societies keep. And, as far as the miracles go, it's plausible that he could have done some, if not all, of the miracles ascribed to this individual. Because I haven't heard, there's nothing that the Bible talks about in regards to the miracles that, quote-unquote, Jesus performed that I haven't heard before and after. Things like walking through walls, levitation, instantaneous healing. All these things have been done by multiple people throughout time, and can be done. Yeah. So anyway, number 55, Bigfoot. Yeah, okay, so the Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it, I prefer Sasquatch personally, but what most people don't understand, there's a very heavy extraterrestrial element to these individuals, the species, whatever you want to call it. It's a very advanced species. It's not an ape. It's not some great ape. It's highly intelligent. It's closer to human than animal. It's possible that it was actually the original species on the planet that had been manipulated and had extraterrestrial DNA added to it to create the human race. If you look at the Sasquatch itself, it's the most perfect form in regards to living on this planet in nature. Human beings, Homo sapiens as of today, we're not naturally adapted to this environment. We have to, we gotta wear clothes, and we want everything at a specific temperature. We gotta live in a box, and work in a box, and think in a box, and we for some reason don't like living out in nature. Probably because we don't belong here. At least part of our DNA doesn't. Anyway, number 54, the Denver airport. Yeah, so the Denver airport, a lot of people claim that it was largely unnecessary to build the Denver airport, and a lot of people were confused why they even bothered to do it. Construction continued at this airport for months after it seemingly was complete, leading a lot of people to suspect that there was a deep underground military base there. I've heard a few stories, strange stories coming from there. One in particular was there was a man that was in an elevator, and he pushed a certain combination of floors, and it heard like a click noise or a dinging noise or something like that. And the elevator kept going down and down and down and down and down and down and down, and finally opened up, and he was, looking around and didn't see anybody. The whole place was empty, and he was really kind of confused. And so he started walking around, and the first place he entered into was a bathroom. And when he looked at the urinals were really high up on the wall. It came up to his chest, as if they were designed for a being much larger than a normal human being. And he was so freaked out about it, he just ran straight back to the elevator and went back up. And so, I don't know, just an anecdotal story, obviously, but of course the murals at this airport are so strange, depicting, apocalyptic scenarios, and a lot of Nazi things, the Black Sun, and very strange. The whole place was built by Freemasons, so that should tip you off right away. Number 53, the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx. Yeah, as I said before, the Great Pyramid, it's an impossible structure. We can't replicate it today. Everybody knows this. It should not be there. It's, it looks a little dilapidated today, I understand that, but in its heyday, it would have been a marvel. I mean, we're talking architectural perfection beyond anything that we could possibly hope to achieve with our modern society. And all the mathematics that are involved, any Egyptologist that is not completely flabbergasted by the existence of this structure, personally, in my opinion, is not even a scientist. You can't just overlook the fact that this thing is here. The Sphinx, of course, as has been explained by certain geologists, the Sphinx depicts on it very heavy striations caused by heavy rainfall, which has not existed in Egypt for a very long time, leading many people to believe that the Sphinx is actually much older than they claim it is, which I would get on board with. Definitely seems to be much older than the prevailing theories of today. Number 52, Puppet Dictator. Yeah. This isn't hard to understand. Of course you want people in power, they're gonna advance your agenda, so you pay them off. Simple as that. I don't really need to speak more about that. Number 51, Skull and Bones. Yeah, so Skull and Bones is a secret society originating out of Yale University in Connecticut. A lot of very influential people have come from this particular secret society. George Bush Sr. and Jr., John Kerry, lots of people in key positions of power. The Skull and Bones Society itself has been infiltrated, and it has been revealed that there are a number of satanic practices and rituals that go on there. It's just the same old shit. Different versions of the same old shit. Number 50, American Civil War started by Britain. Yeah, that one really surprised me. Especially, Britain wasn't just gonna give up and, let the American Revolution happen and say, okay, you guys won, I guess we'll just leave you alone. No, fuck no. Britain was bitter about the American Revolution since day one. They had every reason to instigate the American Civil War. And every reason to encourage the United States to become a corporation, which it ended up doing. So yeah, that doesn't seem far-fetched to me at all. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I'll end up doing the next 50 in another video, because I'm already approaching an hour here, so yeah. Pretty good list. Interested to see what the next 50 conspiracy theories are. I've studied so much of this stuff that each one of these I could elaborate on, with its own 1 hour video, but I very highly encourage people to research these topics. They're important, at least most of them are. Keep exploring, don't accept the answers that they give you. There's a lot of information here that could be useful. Alright, that's all I got for now. See you in part 2.